Okay, we're going to solve this quadratic equation. We have 3x squared plus 6x, that's equal to 15. Well, if you move the 15 to the other side, let me just tell you, that's not factorable, okay? So, in fact, we'll do this with completing the square. It's easier with completing the square in this case as well, okay? You can also try to do it with quadratic formula, but I will show you guys how to do it with CTS, the completing square. So let me remind you guys the steps for CTS, completing the square. First of all, we want to have 1 in front of the x squared and then plus bx. We want to have this right here on one side. Preferably on the left hand side. Most important thing is that we must have a 1 in front of the x squared before we can continue. And now let's take a look right here. This is 3 times x squared. So what can we do? Well, let's just divide everything by 3. So that this and that will be cancelled, and then I will have the 1 that I need. And let me just write down the x squared. And then we'll just work this out. This is plus 2x. And we leave a space right here for the magic number. And we'll make this equal to 15 over 3 is just a regular 5. Okay? And now, once we have this done, and we have the x squared and the x term on the left hand side by themselves, right? Now, the second step is that we are going to add this magic number on both sides. Remember the formula, we take 1/2 times whatever this is now, okay, the b value, and then you square that. We add this number, you have to remember this formula on both sides, okay? And let's just work this out right here. In our case, the b is 2, so we will just write this down. We take 1/2 of 2, and then we square this. And if you work this inside out, you get 1 inside, because 1/2 of 2 is just 1. And when you square this, you still get 1. This is the number that we have to add on both sides, like this, okay? And then we can continue this. This right here is now guaranteed factorable, and we can factor this. This is x plus 1, x plus 1. And these two factors will always be the same. That's why I call this the magic number, because it's making this so magical. And once these two factors are the same, we complete the square on the left hand side. We can say this is x plus 1 square, and the right hand side is just 5 plus 1, which is 6. And of course, now this is something that we can solve. We can just solve by taking the square roots on both sides. And that's pretty much the third and fourth step, okay? But once we get to here, the rest will be pretty automatic. We can just take the square root here and the square root here. Don't forget the plus minus. Now this and that will be cancelled, and we will have x plus 1. And this is equal to, well, square root 6. Well, it's not, we cannot really break this down, so just keep it as how it is. So we write down as plus minus square root of 6. And then one more step, because we have to minus 1 on both sides. Now we can get the x by itself, and then x is equal to negative 1 plus minus square root of 6. And with that, we are done.